The workday. An epic test of endurance, patience, and, let's be honest, caffeine intake. Whether you're sitting at a desk, handling customer complaints, utilizing heavy machinery, or working from home in your pajamas, don't worry, we won't tell. There's one universal truth. Surviving the workday is a skill. And like any skill, it takes practice, planning, and just the right amount of sarcasm. We've all been there. The clock strikes 9 a.m., and suddenly you're thrust into a whirlwind of tasks, meetings, emails, or, if you're lucky, unexpected requests that will undoubtedly derail your entire day. You start with high hopes, maybe even a plan, but by noon, the day has chewed you up, spat you out, and left you wondering why time seems to crawl when you're on the clock. Sound familiar? You're not alone. The good news? You don't need superpowers to survive the workday, though they would help. What you need is strategy. And snacks. Lots of snacks. This guide is designed to give you practical, laugh-out-loud tips on how to make it through with your sanity intact. Whether you're dodging an overzealous boss, navigating customer complaints, or trying to keep yourself awake after lunch. It's not just about getting through the day, it's about thriving, or at the very least, making it to 5 p.m. without losing your cool. So, grab your coffee, or whatever powers you through. Adjust your "I'm totally focused" face, and dive into this survival guide for the workday. Because whether you're on the front lines, behind the scenes, or working from home, we've got the tips to help you survive whatever chaos your job throws at you. Tip 1. Caffeine is your new best friend, but don't overdo it. Let's face it, caffeine is the unsung hero of the workday. Whether you're slinging espresso at a coffee shop, running forklift operations at a warehouse, or tackling spreadsheets in a corporate office, caffeine is the fuel that keeps you going. It's the first thing you think of when you wake up, and without it, you'd probably stare blankly at your workload until lunchtime. But here's the trick. While caffeine can be a lifesaver, too much can turn you into a jittery mess. We're talking about that heart-pounding, slightly paranoid, "I've had too much" feeling where even the smallest tasks seem monumental. So, balance is key. Sure, that first cup of coffee, or tea, or energy drink is practically a requirement, but after the third or fourth, you might want to start switching to water. Trust me, you don't want to be the person bouncing off the walls by mid-morning. Strategic sipping is your friend. Early in the day, when your motivation is still intact, 1 cup should get you into gear. Mid-morning slump? Sure, hit up cup number 2. But beware of that post-lunch temptation to down another one. That's when things start getting tricky, and before you know it, you're wondering if your heart is supposed to beat that fast. Also, remember that caffeine isn't a substitute for actual energy. You know, the kind that comes from rest, hydration, and not secretly hating every task on your to-do list. So, if you're relying on coffee to get you through every single minute of the day, it might be time to rethink your strategy. Or at least start carrying around a water bottle to remind people you still know how to function like a human. In summary, caffeine is a valuable ally, but overdoing it can turn your day into a blur of shaky hands and missed deadlines. Drink smart, stay hydrated, and remember, there's a reason coffee breaks are a thing. Embrace them, but don't let them take over your workday. Tip 2. Master the art of looking busy. Whether you're working on a job site, behind a register, or staring at a computer screen, one skill will keep you out of trouble no matter where you are: looking busy. Now, I'm not suggesting you never actually work. That's a whole different guide. But let's be real. There are moments in every job when you're stuck waiting for the next task or avoiding an overzealous boss. And in those moments, looking busy is a survival tactic. Start by perfecting the "I'm concentrating" face. This can be used whether you're checking emails, restocking shelves, or reviewing your workload for the 3rd time in an hour. Squint a little, furrow your brow, and occasionally sigh like you're grappling with something of extreme importance. Bonus points if you're holding something, a clipboard, a tool, or even a stack of papers. It signals you're in the zone. If you're in a setting where you're often visible to supervisors or clients, movement is key. Sitting still is suspicious. Walk purposefully from one spot to another, even if you have no real destination. If anyone asks where you're headed, just say, "I'm handling something," and keep moving. They'll assume you're doing something productive because, well, you look like you are. And then there's the ultimate tool, the task list. Whether it's real or imagined, having a list you're working through is a lifesaver. Not only does it give you a sense of direction, but it also provides a convenient excuse for why you're not available for yet another task. "Oh, sorry. I'm really focused on getting through this list today." Works wonders in nearly any setting. Keep a few vague but believable tasks on hand, just in case. So, wherever you work, whether it's an office, a factory, a classroom, or from home, looking busy will save you. The trick is to do just enough to maintain the illusion without breaking a sweat. After all, you've got a whole day to get through, and pacing yourself is essential. Tip 3. Use meetings to your advantage. Whether you're in an office conference room, huddled in a construction site meeting, or stuck in a virtual call from home, one truth remains. Meetings are inevitable. Most could have been an email, but here we are. Instead of dreading them, let's turn the tables and make them work for you. First, get comfortable. Meetings are the perfect time to mentally recharge, without looking like you're checked out, of course. If you're on a virtual call, find that sweet spot where the camera can't catch your not paying attention face. Pro tip: keep your microphone on mute and nod every few minutes. You'll look engaged while quietly scrolling through memes or figuring out what's for dinner. For in-person meetings, positioning is key. Sit near the back or by the door if possible. Not only does this give you a strategic escape route when things go too long, but it also minimizes the chance of being called on unexpectedly. And if someone does ask for your input, go with vague, non-committal phrases like, "That's an interesting point," or "Let's circle back on that." It's corporate speak for, "I'm not really listening." Now, if you're in a more hands-on job where meetings might involve physical demonstrations or brainstorming, stay alert for that magical phrase, "Let's take a break." That's your time to shine. It's the perfect moment to grab some water, stretch your legs, or, if the meeting is especially dull, discreetly check your phone for a quick dopamine hit. Remember, meetings are part of the Workday marathon. Use them to recharge, refocus, or at the very least, to zone out in a socially acceptable way. You'll need the energy for the real work later, assuming any real work actually happens after the meeting. Tip 4. Snack like a pro. Snacks are the unsung heroes of any workday. Whether you're a teacher corralling a classroom, a construction worker braving the elements, or an office worker chained to your desk, the strategic placement of snacks can be the difference between survival and meltdown. Hunger waits for no one, and trust me, nothing kills productivity faster than a growling stomach. First things first. Don't rely on vending machines. They're overpriced, understocked, and half the time, your snack gets stuck on the way down. You need a personal stash, a treasure trove of munchies that will carry you through the peaks and valleys of your day. But choose wisely. Keep a mix of quick, satisfying bites like trail mix, granola bars, or if you're feeling fancy, dried fruit. For the 3 p.m. sugar crash, a piece of chocolate never hurt anyone. Just don't go overboard, or you'll be dealing with the post-candy regret. If you work in a space where people can see your stash, guard it like a dragon protects its hoard. The second your coworkers or clients realize you've got snacks, they'll descend like vultures. And before you know it, your carefully curated collection will be reduced to crumbs. Keep some decoy snacks on display, something unappealing, like plain rice cakes, and hide the good stuff in a drawer or locker. For those of you working jobs that don't offer the luxury of snack breaks, retail warriors, we see you. The art of the stealth snack is key. A quick nibble in between helping customers or during a brief lull can be the fuel you need to power through the next wave of chaos. Perfect the subtle, under-the-counter munch, or the turning around to grab something while sneaking a bite move. Mastery of these techniques will make you a snack ninja. At the end of the day, snacks are about more than just curbing hunger. They're tiny moments of joy that break up the monotony of the workday. Plan your snack breaks well, and you'll have something to look forward to between all those emails, meetings, or manual labor. Plus, a well-timed snack might just save you from snapping at a coworker. Tip 5. Take bathroom breaks, aka strategic escapes. Let's be honest. Sometimes the bathroom is more than just a bathroom. It's your sanctuary, your place of peace, your escape. Whether you work in a busy office, a warehouse, or on your feet in retail, there are moments when you just need a break, without anyone realizing that's what you're doing. Enter the glorious bathroom break, also known as the Great Escape. The beauty of the bathroom break is its universal acceptance. No one questions it. You could be gone for 5 minutes or 15, and no one bats an eye. It's one of the last sacred spaces where you can get a moment of solitude without anyone wondering if you're slacking off. Need to scroll through your phone for a few minutes to clear your head? Need to practice your deep breathing exercises after an infuriating customer interaction? The bathroom is your safe haven. Now, if you're in a job where extended bathroom breaks are tricky, like working on a busy construction site or in a fast-paced kitchen, you'll need to get creative. Take advantage of those natural lulls in activity and slip away for a breather. And here's a pro tip. Always carry something with you that looks official. A notepad, clipboard, or even a toolbox, so no one questions why you're taking a detour. In their eyes, you're just handling business. But, like any good thing, bathroom breaks require moderation. You don't want to be the person who's constantly stepping out to the point where people start wondering if you're okay, or if you've taken up residence in the restroom. Use this escape strategically. Plan your moments wisely and savor them. The trick is balance. Just enough bathroom time to recharge, but not so much that you're on anyone's radar. Done right, it's the ultimate way to reset during a chaotic day, without anyone realizing you've just escaped a mini mental breakdown. Tip 6. Befriend the equipment, whatever it is. Every job has that one piece of equipment that seems designed specifically to ruin your day. Whether it's a stubborn cash register, an ancient computer that takes an eternity to load, or a tool that's seen better days, this is the hill you must climb if you want to survive the workday. Befriending the equipment is more than a survival tactic, it's self-preservation. Step 1. Don't fight it. You may want to kick that copier that jams every 5 minutes or toss the coffee machine out the window when it malfunctions. But remember, your frustration only makes it stronger. Machines can smell fear, or at least it feels that way. Approach with caution, respect, and patience. Whisper sweet nothings to it if you have to. A well-timed "please just work this once" can go a long way. Step 2. Learn its quirks. Every piece of equipment has its own personality. Maybe the printer only works if you press the button twice. Perhaps the company truck won't start unless you wiggle the key just right. Figure out these little secrets and you'll have a much smoother workday. Plus, becoming the person who knows how to make the equipment work can elevate your status among your coworkers. People will seek you out like a tech wizard, and suddenly you've gained power over the machine, and possibly a few favors from colleagues. If you work in a hands-on job, like a mechanic, a barista, or in construction, becoming one with your tools is essential. A hammer or wrench that doesn't work properly can throw off your whole day. Treat your equipment with care, and it'll take care of you. Well, most of the time. Finally, have a backup plan. No matter how well you treat your tools, things will break, systems will crash, and your patience will be tested. When that happens, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you're smarter than a coffee machine or a stubborn forklift, and have a contingency plan ready. Whether it's knowing who to call for help or finding a workaround, being prepared will save you a world of stress. In the end, befriending the equipment means fewer headaches and a smoother workday. Master it, and you'll walk into every situation with confidence. Well, as much confidence as one can have around a photocopier with a mind of its own. Tip 7. Learn to say no without saying no. Every workday comes with that moment when someone, whether it's a boss, coworker, or customer, asks you to take on just one more thing. They drop a new task onto your already overflowing plate with that innocent, "it won't take long" line. But we all know that's a trap. Learning to say no, without actually saying the word, is an art form that will save your sanity and keep your workload manageable. Step 1. The delay tactic. When someone asks you to do something, don't immediately say yes or no. Instead, go with something like, "let me check my schedule," or "I'll see what I can do." This buys you time and gives you the option to either squeeze the task in or strategically forget about it. In their mind, you're working on it, while in reality, you're deciding if you have the bandwidth or the energy to take it on. Step 2. The polite deflection. If you're swamped and can't possibly take on another task without risking an implosion, try deflecting. Say, "I'd love to help with that, but I'm currently focused on insert other task here." This approach shifts the responsibility back to them, without sounding like you're flat out refusing. You're not saying no, you're just prioritizing. Step 3. The expert delegation. This one's a pro move. When asked to take on something that's outside your scope, politely suggest someone else who might be better suited for the task. Oh, you know who's great at that? Sarah. She's the expert. Boom. Problem solved, and now Sarah's on the hook. Sorry, Sarah. Finally, there's the honest approach, reserved for those times when your workload has truly reached its limit. A simple, I'm at capacity right now, but let's talk about when I can realistically help, will usually do the trick. It's firm, but fair, and it leaves room for negotiation if needed. Mastering the art of saying no without actually using the word will keep you from drowning in tasks that aren't yours to handle. And the best part? You'll come across as cooperative and professional while secretly dodging the endless cycle of extra assignments. Tip 8. The post-lunch slump. Your greatest enemy. The post-lunch slump. It's like the universe hits a giant pause button on your energy levels just when you need them the most. Whether you've downed a full meal, snacked on a sandwich, or just had a granola bar, the hours between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. feel like walking through quicksand. It's not just a physical battle. It's mental. Your body wants a nap, but your job demands you stay upright and functioning. So, how do you survive this daily energy dip? Step 1. Stay hydrated. Sure, you're probably tempted to grab another cup of coffee, but dehydration is a major culprit in the energy crash. Keep a bottle of water nearby and take sips throughout the afternoon. A well-hydrated brain is a functional brain, and while it may not taste as good as that third cup of joe, it'll keep you from feeling sluggish. Step 2. Move around. Sitting or standing in one place for hours on end is a surefire way to lull yourself into a food coma. If you're in an office, take a quick walk around the building. If you're on your feet all day, stretch or do some light movements. The point is to get your blood flowing and trick your body into thinking it's ready for more. Just a few minutes of activity can make a huge difference. Step 3. Snack smart. You'll be tempted to reach for something sugary to give you a quick energy boost, but that's a trap. Sure, it'll work for 10 minutes, but soon you'll crash even harder. Instead, go for snacks like almonds, fruit, or yogurt. Something that offers sustained energy instead of a short-lived sugar high. Your body and brain will thank you. Step 4. Mix up your tasks. The post-lunch slump is the perfect time to tackle low-energy tasks. Avoid the big, mentally taxing projects and focus on things that don't require peak brain power, like responding to emails, organizing your workspace, or preparing for your next meeting. By switching gears, you can ride out the slump while still being productive. The post-lunch slump might be your greatest enemy, but with the right strategies, you can power through it without becoming a zombie. Just remember, move, hydrate, and snack wisely, and you'll make it to the other side of the afternoon in one piece. Tip 9. Plan your escape, aka the end of the day countdown. By the time the clock strikes 4 p.m., or whatever your version of nearly done looks like, something magical happens. You can practically taste freedom. But let's be real, the last hour of the workday is a battlefield of its own. Your mind has already checked out, but you've still got to look like you're engaged. The key to surviving this final stretch is mastering the delicate art of planning your exit. First off, don't make the rookie mistake of rushing out the door too early. You know the type. The person who slams their laptop shut or clocks out the second the hour hits, only to be met with raised eyebrows from colleagues, or worse, the boss. Instead, start winding down subtly. Finish up any small tasks that have been lingering all day. Clean up your workspace, and maybe send out a few emails to look productive. It's all about giving the illusion of busy while mentally planning your dinner. If you're on a job site, behind a counter, or doing shift work, this is the time to tidy up your station. Organize your tools, check inventory, or clean up the workspace so that when you do leave, it's a graceful exit and not a mad dash for the parking lot. You want to be seen as responsible, not desperate to flee the scene. As you approach those last precious minutes, don't forget to check for last-minute requests. You don't want to be ambushed by a quick task at 4:55 p.m. If someone's trying to squeeze in more work just as you're getting ready to leave, the classic, "I'll get to that first thing tomorrow," is your best friend. They'll appreciate the promise of follow-through, and you'll appreciate not being stuck there an extra 20 minutes. And finally, when the clock hits quitting time, don't make a big show of leaving. You're not in a race. This is a marathon. Walk out with purpose, Wave goodbye like you've got all the time in the world, and then casually sprint to freedom once you're out of sight. After all, you've earned it. Tip 10. Celebrate the small victories. When it comes to surviving the workday, sometimes the big wins are few and far between. But if you're smart, you'll realize the true secret to making it through. Celebrating the small victories. Did you manage to send that email that's been lingering in your inbox for 2 days? Victory. Did you avoid the afternoon meeting that everyone was dreading? Major win. Did you make it to lunch without snapping at your least favorite coworker? You deserve a medal. In the whirlwind of tasks, deadlines, and never-ending to-do lists, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that some days are more about survival than smashing every goal. So, take a second to appreciate the little moments of triumph. Did you fix the printer before it tried to eat another ream of paper? Bask in your technological superiority. Did you manage to snag the last good snack from the break room? You're a hero in your own right. And if you just got through the day without something on fire, literally or metaphorically, that's a win worth celebrating. It's also important to give yourself credit for simply showing up. The world of work is unpredictable, and some days are about staying afloat rather than swimming to the finish line. So, don't forget to recognize that, despite the chaos, the complaints, and the caffeine crashes, you kept going. Celebrate every task, every challenge overcome, and even the moments you didn't lose your cool when that one coworker asked you for help on something they could have Googled. Surviving the workday is all about perspective, and if you can find joy in the small stuff, you'll be ready to tackle anything tomorrow throws at you. So, go ahead and celebrate. You made it through another day, and that's no small feat. Congratulations, you've made it through the workday. Whether you coasted on caffeine, powered through with sheer willpower, or relied heavily on your snack stash, no judgment. You've survived. And that's no small feat. Workdays may be filled with tasks, deadlines, meetings, and the occasional tech meltdown. But with these tips in hand, you're fully equipped to handle whatever comes next. But let's be real. Tomorrow's another day, and the grind never truly ends. The important thing is that you've mastered the art of surviving. Whether it's pretending to work, dodging last-minute assignments, or celebrating the little victories that make the workday bearable. Every day brings new challenges, but now you have the playbook to face it head-on, or at least look like you are. So, when the alarm clock rings tomorrow, you'll know exactly what to do. Grab your coffee, put on your best "I'm totally fine" face, and get back to business. Because at the end of the day, surviving the workday is an accomplishment in itself. Here's to making it through another day, one victory, or snack, at a time.